Okay, so the whole idea behind what we're going to try to do on this stream is walk through someone that's brand new to Star Citizen on how to play it and what you should do in the very beginning. So I'm going to play on one of my accounts, but I'm going to play like someone who's just starting out and only use the things that I have when I just start out. So we'll go ahead and click on Persistent Universe to get started. And when you first start out, it's going to ask you to create your character. You can make them however you want. And then you can go ahead and click on Stanton System, and it's going to ask you where you want to start. You're only going to be able to pick Stanton System, and it's going to give you three options: New Babbage, Lauraville, or Arcorp. And for this one, we're going to be starting in Lauraville because that provides a pretty good spot for people who are just getting started in the verse. So you're going to click Lauraville as the selection, and then this is going to let you just pick your server. Just click best and hit visit location to go. And here we go. How's it going, Flappy? I'm just doing there's a free fly event on Star Citizen right now, so this is a stream I'm doing to both YouTube and Twitch. And it's just going to basically be like a walkthrough of the first couple hours of what you should do if you're a brand new player for Star Citizen, and kind of like when you start in your bed, where to get going, what you should do to make money first in the very beginning, and how to actually like enjoy yourself and what the first couple hours of the game should look like. So that's what I'll have, and this way it'll be saved on YouTube as something that I can kind of just refer back to. So I figured that would be really fun, and we'll see how it goes. How are you doing? If there's anything that you see me miss or that you think would be helpful for a brand new player also, please let me know. I gotcha. You up late? Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, I hear you. Alrighty. So I just started out. We're starting out in our bed. This is what happens when you first start the game. And you can kind of look around. You're gonna want to hit this W key, I believe, to get up. Or spacebar. Oh, I guess or we could just look over and click on get up. They must have changed that. I haven't started this in a little while. Oh man, not good. Alright, so we are out of our bed, and the first thing that you're going to want to do when you're walking around is just kind of get a feel for the controls. The biggest thing is that to open a door, you're going to need to focus, which is defaulted to the F key. So if you hold that down, it's going to get this screen, and it'll say open, and then you can click, and the door will open. And that'll let you kind of get out and walk around a little bit and see. I like to remap a couple things right away, and one of the biggest ones is that focus key. So what I usually do is go to options, go to key bindings, and then go to advanced controls. If I scroll all the way down here to interactions and inner thought, I'm going to have this interaction mode, and that's that thing that lets you focus. And what I like to do is put that on one of my side mouse buttons, so it's really easy for me to just click that with my thumb and then click the right mouse button or the left mouse button with my index finger. So now instead of having to like use both hands and do the keyboard, I can look and click with the same hand. Alright, a couple camera controls. If you hit F4, it's going to knock the camera back out to third person, and you can kind of walk around, and this one is going to be a little bit off to the side. If you hit it again, it's going to back up even further and get directly behind and let you kind of move your camera around with the mouse. And then if you hit F4 again, it'll bring it back in to first person. We're going to go up here and use that focus to call the elevator, which is right here. And you can use your mouse wheel to scroll through these. We'll click ground floor. Excuse me. So the first things we're going to do, we're going to act like I started with no money and a beginner ship. So the first thing we're going to go do is go get our ship. So this is the area we walk out, and the easiest way to remember here, I believe so. I believe you do, yeah, Floppy. We're going to walk out here, and to get to the spaceport, we're going to need to take a train, and the easiest way to remember is just hang to our left. So as we walk out here, we're just going to keep heading to the left, all the way, curve to the left. The wall is still on our left. Still going to the left.
Welcome to Metro Center. Transfers to the perimeter.
And basically just anytime you can go left, you're going to want to go left. And that will take us right here to the spaceport line. So now we can just follow these signs.
Or attempting to trespass on train tracks is a serious and dangerous offense.
And it will take you right over here to the train, and we'll just wait for the train. I think you do need premium. I'm not positive. I know there's other things you can get, like Restream or something like that. Alright, so we get in here, and now we're just going to wait for the train to take us to the spaceport. And what we're going to be using the Aurora MR, which is one of the starter ships that you can get in a pack. One thing while we're on this train here, there's a mechanic called Inner Thought, and if I hold down the F key and right click, it's going to open up this wheel. This is how you can get to a lot of your player actions and different things. One really helpful thing in that is going to be helmet equip or unequip. So if I click this, you'll see my character with no helmet on. And that is what you need to do to be able to drink water or eat food. And if I want to put the helmet back on, I can do the same thing, hold down F, right click, or you can see the hotkey, which here it has it set as slash. So if I close out of here and then hit slash,
be considerate to your fellow travelers. Do not block doors.
oh, you know what? I think I might have changed it on my game. So we'll just go ahead and use this. I can just click this and it'll re-equip my helmet. Give it a second to catch up with itself. Sometimes this game needs to load it back into the server. And there's your helmet. So one really important thing to be watching there when you do that is that you don't go out into space without a helmet, because if you go into space without a helmet on, you'll suffocate and you'll last about 10 seconds and then you'll die. So I just left the train. I'm going to go to the left here to the customs area.
Please make sure you have collected all property when clearing.
And we're just keeping cruising right along here. And once we get up here, this is the main area where you can retrieve ships. So every area that has a spaceport is going to have these ship retrieval consoles, and that's where you can get your ships. You can go up to this and focus on it and click and hit use. And I'm going to go ahead and get the Aurora. We'll go to retrieve. There we go. It's telling me that it's at hangar 6, and that is right down out there. It's nighttime, so it's going to be a little bit different. Taking off, sometimes nighttime can make it a little bit harder. Once we summon our ship, we're going to back away. There's those computers, and right over here are the elevators that will take us to the hangars. So we'll click here. And go to hangar 6. The nice thing is if you forget where your ship was, just find this little marker and it'll show you right there we're at hangar 6. And you can actually watch yourself get closer as the elevator moves closer to this hangar with your ship in it. So here's our ship, and our beginning goal here in this game is to make some money, so that's going to be what we do. We're going to hit F1 to open up our Mobi Glass. This is our main menu for the game. Obviously we're just going to act like there's no money there at all, because I need to make the money that I'm going to use to get the next stuff. So we have our vehicle loadout manager. This lets you equip weapons and armor and things on your ships. This is your equipment manager. It lets you equip weapons and armor and things on your character. This is the map of the whole space star system. And this is the Mo Trader that lets you send money or receive money from different players in the game. This is where you go to find missions. Here is where you go to repair or restock your ship when you're in your ship in a hangar. And then this is a journal that just keeps track of different things that you've done. So we're going to go to Contracts Manager. That is our missions. General are all the normal missions that you can take, and personal missions are missions that are going to be worth a little bit more money. They're usually also going to be harder, and most of the time they will give you a crime stat if you do them. So you're going to want to be careful with those, because if you get a crime stat and then you die, you'll wake up in jail. So we're going to click on General and look for some beginning missions that are simple, that can get us a little bit of money. So let's see here. We've got delivery. These are each going to give us 8,000. This one is telling us that we need to get a flight. Nice. This one actually should be really good. Investigate wreckage claim. So we're going to accept that, and that's going to give us 9,000 UEC. So we'll take that. Our thing is to collect the black box from a freelancer ship. So we're tracking that. We're going to go ahead and get into our ship. Right? We're going to focus on the door, click enter ship. And it just automatically will put us in there. So now for this ship, we can actually walk around. There's some room that we can put things in. And this ship is a good starter ship because it gives you room to carry some small boxes, and one of the boxes is going to be that flight recorder we're going to go find. So we need a ship that can carry that. I'm going to focus on the seat and hit enter pilot seat. And now I'm in the ship, and if I press and hold R, it will turn all of my ship stuff on and make it ready to go. The last thing that I need to do is request docking, which I can do here on my little screen by clicking this area, Lorville Landing Services. And if you see, if we hit F4, we can change our view. If I tap the Z key, it will unlock the camera so I can look around. And if I hold down spacebar now, spacebar is going to be what allows me to move my ship up and down. So I'm just going to move my ship up and down, and we are out. It's good to just keep moving up. until you get yourself far enough away from everything so you don't have to worry about crashing into anything. So again, my camera is completely unlocked, so I'm just moving it around with the mouse. So now if I press the N key, it's going to raise my landing gear, and you can see my ship's moving, so I want to make it so that I'm not doing that. And if I move the thing behind here and press the Z key, it gives me control back over the ship. So if I just push my mouse ever so slightly up, it's going to allow me to even out my ship. So now my controls for ship are the W, A, S, and D. So W is going to move me forward. S moves me backwards. D is going to move me to the right strafe. A moves me to the left. And then if I use E or Q, E is going to roll that way. Q is going to roll that way. Spacebar is going to make my ship move up. And control on the left side is going to make my ship move down. So let's go back in the ship again. If I hit F4, now I can see inside my ship view. So the one thing to look at is right over here on the left side, this bar here. You can see right here, there's a little white line. And if you watch, I can make it move up or down. And what I'm doing is I'm doing that by moving my mouse wheel up and down. And that's the amount of engine power that I'm going to be giving the ship whenever I press. So say I press W to move forward, the higher that is, the more engine power it's going to max out at. If I go down here, I can only go that far, and then it will stop it. But if I move my mouse wheel up, it's going to allow more power to the engine, which means my ship's going to go faster. In atmosphere, it's not going to go as fast because the atmosphere slows your ship down, and different planets have different atmospheres. So let's see here, I can hop out here. This is a smaller ship too, so you can see the wind is definitely moving around my ship a little bit. And it works out that the area that I need to get to here for this mission is on this planet in front of me. So the first thing we're going to want to do is leave the atmosphere of this planet so we can do our quantum jump. So these numbers, see how it goes 15, 20, 25, think of those as angles. And if you remember from math class, a 90-degree angle is going to be like a straight up and down. So if I move this to 90, where I'm at 90, that means that my ship is basically moving straight up and down from the planet. And then as I start to come off, if I go about here, you can tell this is going to be bringing me closer to a 45-degree angle. So if what I'm wanting to do is get away from the planet, right around like 75 or 80 is a good spot to be. And the one other thing that you can do in this game is a cruise control thing, so you don't have to keep holding on to the W key. So if I press the C key, like that, you can see if you watch that little white line there, when I press C, a little triangle appears under that. If I press it again, it's going to disappear, and I press it again and it appears again. So whenever that triangle is there, it means my ship's on cruise control, and it's going to be going as fast as possible. You know, because we're in atmosphere, I'm not able to get the thrust all the way up to that white line, but it's going to try as hard as it can to get it. And in space, where there's no atmosphere, it's going to for sure get me up there. It's important to remember that you have that on when you're doing things like landing, because if you're trying to land and you have cruise control on, you can very easily crash into a planet or other ship or space station. So now that we've gotten about 18,000 meters, which you can see this is our altitude on the right side here, up from the planet, I'm going to turn off cruise control. We'll get outside of our ship and just take a nice little look around here for a second. If I hold down the F4 button while I'm out like this and scroll my mouse button back, it lets me zoom out. I can get a really good view of what's going on here. And then if I scroll my mouse button in while holding F4, brings it back in. Hey, Gabby. Yeah, I'm actually, there's a free fly event right now for Star Citizen, so I wanted to do a kind of walkthrough for anyone that's newer, that's just getting into Star Citizen, and I'm doing this stream to YouTube as well, so that it would be there as something I can refer back to. All right, so now that we're out of the atmosphere, we can use our quantum drive. So I'm going to hit B on my keyboard, and that will turn on my quantum drive. And all the areas that I can go to jump are going to show up these little markers. If it's blue, I can go there. If it's red, I can't. And as soon as I put the center of my ship over an area that I can jump to, you can see it starts calibrating. And as soon as spooling is complete on the top here and the calibration is ready, then I'm all set. And I can hold down the B key now. And it will jump me to that planet. If you press the F4 key while you're in quantum jump, you can have free look on the mouse, and if you press it again, you'll hop back in. Alright, so in order to be able to jump to exactly where this black box is, I'm going to have to open up my map and select it as a destination. So if I hit F2, it's going to open up the map. And I can double click. Whoops. A little too close there. So this system is where I'm at right now. Hurston is the planet we started on, and I'm right around this aerial moon right now. So, let's see here. It actually looks like it might not let me. Yeah, I think I might just have to fly down there. So I'm going to set a route to the Comare because that's at least closer. We'll exit the map, spool up our quantum drive, and once I have something set like that, it becomes the only thing I can jump to. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to OM1. And we'll spool it up again. I think this actually will work out pretty well. I should be able to get in pretty quickly. So those OMs stand for orbital markers, and they're really good at helping you navigate around a planet. Well, it looks like yeah, it looks like this is about as close as it is going to let me get. So this is when cruise control comes in very handy. And I am just going to cruise my ship on over there. We're about 200 kilometers away. So I'd say that'll probably take us about 3 to 4 minutes to get over to. So we can go ahead and talk a little bit more about camera controls as we're doing that. I just hit F4 to get outside of my ship, and I just clicked the Z key. So now I have free look again, and I can look down at this planet and really kind of get some really cool views. Some of the coolest parts of playing this game are just the views that you get while playing it. So F4 is basically your main camera control button. So if I hold F4 and then use my arrow keys up, down, left, and right, here's if I hit right, left, up zooms in, and down zooms out. And that's all while holding F4. If I hit page up, or page down, it allows me to move the camera up and down. And you see what I can do is I can really kind of customize and come up with exactly how I want my camera to work. So I can move it like right up on the side there. And then if I find a camera angle that I really like or that I think is cool, I can hold down F4 and then I use one of the 1 through 9 number pad keys. So if I hold down F4 and then hold down number pad 1 for 4 to 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That locks that in. So let's say I move back out here. So now if I tap and hold F4 and then I hit the number pad 1 key, it's going to instantly jump me back to where that camera position was. And this is a really easy way to set up a whole bunch of cool camera positions that you like, and have them all very easily accessible. I know one that I really find helpful is a straight up and down. So I'll go like this, kind of zoom out a little bit, page down, and this is helpful for landing. So I can set this, hold down F4, hold down one of the number pad keys, and now I can do F4 and 1 to jump there, and then F4 and that number pad key to jump right back there. So we're slowly starting to get closer to the planet too as well. We might have some... I don't know if this planet is, or this moon is one that has atmospheric entry effects. But it's definitely a beautiful entry we have here coming into this planet. And we're getting very close. So I'm going to turn off... turn off my cruise control. And we are coming right up on where we need to be. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit to kind of help me see when the ground's coming up. Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome in, Brandon. Yeah, we're just doing a little walkthrough of some basic Starcitizen play. How to get started in the game. We're just kind of acting like we're a very brand new player. We're coming up on our first mission here, and we're going to get our first little bit of money. And we're just going to use the money that we get on these missions to kind of set ourselves up. The main thing that we're going to be trying to do is get enough money to buy ourselves some hand mining tools, and then I'm going to show you guys how to do hand mining. And once you have that figured out, that's your key. That's going to be how you go on and on. So usually as I'm approaching, I like to keep my speed let's see here. I like to keep my speed around 200, and as soon as I break under the 10,000 meter mark, I like to start really watching. And being careful. You can see on the right, I'm at about 1,800 meters above the ground, so the ground is coming up pretty quick. Once you get within about 1,000 meters of the ground, you don't have much room for error, so you're going to want to start being careful, and we're going to start slowing down now. This ship, you can see, slows down pretty quickly. Now that we're starting to get a little closer, if I tap the L key, it will turn on my ship lights, and that will help me see the ground in front of me. Welcome into the chat. If you're a new player and you have any questions about Starcitizen, please feel free to ask. Or if not, just enjoy the nice little chill walkthrough. So we've just found our ship. This is our very first mission that we're going to be doing, and our goal here is to find a black box. So what I'm going to be doing is landing here first. I'm going to tap the N key, and it will tell me when my landing gear is down.
Landing gear deployed.
Something that's really helpful sometimes is to move the camera outside of your ship. Move it a little bit forward, and I'm going to hit the control key. Actually, no, we'll go up here because it seems pretty nice and flat. So I'm going to hit the control key. We're going to lower ourselves down. And let's take a look how we look. You can see we're touching on all of the different places, so that's great. And you can choose to, let's see here, turn your ship off or leave it on. I'm going to turn mine off. This is all done by focusing on the different ship parts. So now I'm going to get out of the ship. One thing that's always nice when you stand up, looks like we're going to get a really nice sunrise on this planet here. Or sunset, I'm not sure. Always make sure you have a helmet on. Especially starting out, very easy to die that way. And if we died, we would start back on that same planet we were on. Alright, so we need to find the black box for this ship. And if you look down in the bottom right corner there, it's saying that my survival time on this planet is about 11 minutes, and that's because it's colder. So, is this our black box right here? We got it. Alright, so now we have our black box in our hand. Look at that amazing light strobing effect. So now we're going to go enter ship. We'll hop in here and we are going to place this right here. Where did it go? Well, make sure if you are playing this that you don't take for granted that you placed it somewhere, because that can most definitely happen. That would have been extremely frustrating. So we'll enter the ship again. Let's see if we can just drop this. That looks good. Now we'll get back in our pilot seat. And we're going to press R to turn all of our stuff back on. So, if you're doing a mission and you forget what you're supposed to be doing, you can press F1 and go back to your contracts manager and hit accepted. This will show you all the missions you've accepted, and it will tell you here. So now we need to go back to Tisa Spaceport, which is this place where we took off from. So what we're going to do is press spacebar, and that will allow us to go up. And you'll see as I roll my mouse wheel up, that same thing with thrust also works for taking off and moving up and down. So if I give myself more thrust, it's going to make my ship move up a little bit faster. I really like the way this planet looks right now. Looks absolutely beautiful. We're going to press N to raise our landing gear. Okay. And no, there was a tornado in North Carolina. So that is where we need to drop off our black box. So if we go ahead and spool up our drive, we're going to try to find a way that will let us get there. We're going to look for those orbital markers. It's going to say obstructed because we're still a little bit in atmosphere, so we just need to go up a little bit further. Once we get up just a little bit higher, it's going to let us jump to that. You can't do a quantum jump if you're in atmosphere on a planet, and the moons have a lot less atmosphere. So now we're all set. We'll go ahead and do our jump.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Okay. Now we'll go to this next orbital marker that'll bring us around to the front of the planet. And
Want to
now
drive this car out of?
we can see a clear view of Hurston, where we need to go. And we want to go to Hurston.
Want to drive is now
All right. That's unbelievable. What happened with the hurricane? Or, I'm sorry, not hurricane, tornado. Was it like a really, really massively big one?
Want to drive is now off.
All right, so you can see we're getting closer, and this is going to line up exactly with the town of Lorville, which is where we started, because that's where TISA spaceport is. So we're going to go ahead and go to Lorville. We're all spooled up. We're going to hold down B. Holy cow, on
Want to
F3.
drive is now on.
All right. And so now that we're coming in to a city, there's three cities in the game, at least right now. It kind of changes, but there's certain places, like cities, where you have to actually request docking permission and land in a landing hangar. Space stations are like that, and cities are like that. It's a really pretty view, by the way. Look at that. Look at the reflection off the water. And the mountains. Look at under there. Man, that definitely looks really cool. See, this is why, if you did just buy the game, this is why you buy the game. For moments like this. Just absolutely amazing. All right, so we're gonna cruise ourselves right over here. So TISA Spaceport, otherwise known as the landing area for Lorville, is pretty easy to find. You're just gonna find this building here, this big Blade Runner looking building, and it slants in, like here. It's slanting in towards where you come into land. So in front of that, you can see there's a rectangle here of these glowing, like kind of like light signs, and that is where you land. So if you think about it, you're going to want to basically come in above those lights and then drop yourself down, and in there is where your landing is going to be. Man, what a nice looking approach. Alright, so we're going to hop back inside the ship. And it says, please contact ATC to land. You can do that two ways. You can either find the ATC on your little communicator here, or you can press the F11 key, which is a hotkey to comms, and go to friends. And if there's a landing service, it'll always be your top one. So Lorville Landing Service is what we're going to hit. We're going to click this button, and it'll say Hailing Lorville Landing Services. And we can tap F11 to get out. So now it's going to give me a place to land. It's going to be that little triangle there. And you can only see that from inside the ship view. If I leave the ship view, I don't see it. You can still land from outside the ship, but you at least want to use the inside the ship view to get an idea as to where you're supposed to be going. So this is one of those places too where that above the ship landing camera is going to come in really helpful. This is actually probably the most helpful place for it. So we're going to look. We're going to lower our speed down. You can see I just brought it to that little white line there. That's because at that white line or below is where your ship is going to be the most maneuverable. So in this little square is where we're going to want to go. So what I'm going to want to do here is get up in front of that, level out, which means line this up with the 0. And now I can hit my over the ship view, and look at that. There's my place where I'm landing. I'm going to want to drop my landing gear, and we're going to slowly start coming in for a landing here. Perfect. All right, we're in. So now that I landed, a couple things. You can see on the right side here, I've got fuel. So I've got hydrogen and quantum fuel. Quantum fuel is what we use when we're using our quantum drive, and that's what lets us do like the light speed jumps. Hydrogen fuel is what we use while we're flying around, just generally flying around. If you want to refuel those, the hydrogen fuel will refuel on its own over time when you're not using it, but the quantum will not. And so if I hit F1 and go to my vehicle maintenance services, it's going to give me the option to refuel my hydrogen and quantum, and then also repair if there's just a little bit of damage. And also if I had fired weapons or missiles that I have a limited stock of, I can resupply those. You could do this on any landing pad, or I would say 99% of them. So I'm going to turn this ship off. It's definitely gotten a lot better. Getting out of the pilot seat, by the way, you press and hold the Y button on your keyboard. So now, one big mistake that happens, let's open this door. And now let's pick this up. Don't forget this, because this was the whole reason we just did all that stuff. So let's see here. Where is our elevator? Let's take a nice little walk around the ship there. So luckily, we don't have very much further to go for this at all. So we're going to call the elevator. Whoop. Click TISA spaceport. Alrighty. So now this is going to lead us exactly to where the little drop-off kiosk is. And we are going to go to focus and click drop off. And it will let us place the item there. It will take it. Deliver package complete. And we hopefully just got $9,000 richer. Alright, so what are we going to do with that $9,000? There are a couple small things that we're going to want to get. We're going to take our train. And we're going to go back to the main area, the Metro Center.
Trespassing or attempting to trespass on train tracks is a serious and dangerous offense.
And what we're going to do is
Now arriving from
get
Metro
ourselves set up
Center.
to do hand
Stand
mining.
by and let passengers disembark
Hand mining is a
before
really
boarding.
good way to make a very good amount of money pretty quickly, very early in the game. And basically what it's going to require is three things. It's going to require a certain set of armor.
Be considerate of
It doesn't
your
necessarily
fellow
require it, but
travelers.
if you have it, you can
Lock
carry
doors.
more, and that's really important. It's going to require a tool, and it's going to require an attachment for that tool. And once we have those three things,
Next stop, TISA Spaceport.
we're good. Oh boy. Almost died there. Maybe I forgot to put my helmet on. But yeah, the majority of the hand mining that you're going to be doing is in caves. So you also have to know how to find a cave. And there's a really easy way to do that as well. So once we get our equipment, I'll show you how to do that.
Please watch your step when disembarking the train.
And we've been playing for about 45 minutes right now. So we're 45 minutes in, we've done a cool little exploration mission, made some money, and we're going to get ourselves set up to make a lot more.
Welcome to Metro Center. All price points. See a habitation rep for details.
Alright, so we're just going to be heading back this way, and we are going to be going to a place called Tammany and Sons,
Report any criminal activity immediately to Hurston
which is a
Security.
store. There we go. Alright, so Tammany and Sons is right here. So we'll open this up. Okay. So this is the first thing we want to buy, the multi-tool.
What?
$453. So we'll buy that. And we're going to be looking for the orbit mining attachment. That's another 341. So we've spent about $800, which leaves us $8,200 left. And yeah, dude, he really does not like his job. The other thing they're going to want to get is this MacFlex core. Here we go, the rucksack core. So we're going to buy this. That's $3,100. So that would basically leave us with just under $5,000. So how do we equip this stuff? We are going to go into our inventory. Click on Equipment Manager. And I do have a helmet on, that's just not showing it correctly. Armor. Here's our MacFlex rucksack core that we just bought. So we're going to put that on. And basically what that does is it gives us a lot more carrying capacity. 52k SP, which is, it's basically like a big backpack. And the backpack is to carry the gems that we're about to go mine. The only other thing we need to do is equip our utility item. So we're going to go to Utility, click Utility Item, click Pyro Multi-Tool, which is what we just bought. And then for multi-tool attachment, we're going to put the Orbit Mining attachment on it. And then we're going to make sure to hit Save Changes and Equip. And we'll wait for the screen to give us a little flash. There we go. Everything's good. Those exclamations are all gone. And if I go to my camera now... There we go. So I know you might have a different starter helmet, but this is very similar to the starter helmet that you would have. Alright, so we do have a little bit of money left over. One other thing we might just want to talk about here is eating and drinking. You're going to have to eat and drink. You can get water at these places. Here's a little place right here you can get water. You can hit quick buy. You'll have to I can just do a quick little walkthrough on that. If I unequip my helmet, so you can see, I'm going to go quick buy. And then if I left click, my guy will start drinking. And if I hold that down, he'll just continue to drink until it's all gone, and my thirst will be replenished. Same is true with food. Again, the only thing that you need to be careful of there is that when you're done, you re-equip your helmet. Alright. So, let's go to...
We're sorry. You exceeded the allotted time to depart. We will have to
Letter.
return your ship to
Sorry, space guys. We are going
Initiating
to
ship
the
storage
Metro Center.
procedure. For your
So what
safety,
that sound
please
is in the
vacate area.
background,
Thank you for your cooperation.
I left my ship in the hangar for a while, and it basically despawns it to free up space for other
Initiating ship
players,
storage procedure.
which is fine.
For your safety, please vacate the area. Thank you for your cooperation.
If this looks familiar, this is where we came out of when we first spawned on this city in the very beginning of the game, when we were doing that hug the left wall thing. So we're doing the same thing, just hugging the left wall, following it around to our spaceport line. Spaceport line is what we want, and that's going to take us back to our ship.
Transfers to the perimeter, spaceport, and
So now that we have our stuff equipped, ooh, let's see if we can get out in time. Bingo. So now that we have our stuff equipped, and you can see our little multi-tool right there, we need to find a cave. And the nice thing is that caves are where one type of mission generally will take place, and it's these search and investigate missions. So we will go into our Mobiglass, go to our contracts manager, and go to search or investigate. Here we go. Conducting research at a cave on Aberdeen. These $4,000 investigation missions are the ones. And luckily Aberdeen is the best one, because Aberdeen is the planet that has the highest concentration of Hadenite, and Hadenite is the mineral that we're going to be mining. So if I select that job and track it, which I'm doing right now, it's literally going to put something on my screen that leads me directly to an Aberdeen cave. And not only that, but I can select the Aberdeen cave as a location to quick jump to. So it's not going to be like before. It's literally going to allow me to pretty much quantum jump almost right to it, and then land, and then go into the cave. And if you want to complete the mission, you can. But I've just, when I was starting out, I would just honestly use these missions as a way to find the caves. Not so much, to complete. So let's get our trusty old MSR out. We still have $4,000 left, or $4,500. It's only been 53 minutes. We're all set up. We're at Hangar 6. Aberdeen, just for as you get further into the game a little bit, is also the moon that is the best for, what did it say? Was it Hangar 6? Yeah, sorry. For ground mining, there's a vehicle called the Grey Cat Rock that is a little mining vehicle you can drive around. And it's the same thing, you're looking for Hadenite, just like you would with this hand miner. But you can do it in a bigger quantity with the vehicle. Aberdeen is the best planet for that as well. Alright, so we're going to enter our ship. We're going to enter our pilot seat. We're going to go ahead and power on. We'll use our quick
Welcome
button,
to Robert Space Industries. Enjoy
request
your ride.
docking,
System check.
and hit F11 one more time to close out of that.
Take off completed.
You are clear to launch.
You can hit that same button to unlock the camera inside the ship. So instead of moving my mouse to move the ship, if I hit that, it will let me look up and down. And here we go. So over here on the other side of this spaceport sign, there's actually, you can see a space station right there. And that's a space station that you can fly to, which is pretty neat. If I turn on my quantum jump. So we're at about 4,000 meters above the planet right now. We'll usually be able to start doing a quantum jump on Hurston at around 10,000. You can see the space station just under the ship there. That looks pretty cool. And if I start spooling, you can see the little red triangle just above Aberdeen Cave. Actually, here's what I'll do. I'll clear all my targets. So we're going to clear the route. We're going to click on Aberdeen. And it should be letting me click on this. It's kind of frustrating that it's not. Let's get back in there and see if it will change it. Alright, so we've gotten very far up above the planet, so we're totally good there. Let's go to Aberdeen.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Alright, let's see now. It should... So we're gonna go here.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Wonder if it'll let me select it now. Well, alright. Looks like we're flying. So we'll just pop on cruise control. It's pretty close. I mean, we should be there within the next minute and a half. So we get a pretty cool little shot. Look at the inside of the ship, how cool that looks. You see some asteroids in the background there. This is totally like out of Aliens. It's going to be a very dark approach at night. But, I mean, this ends up being worth it. So let's cruise in. We'll start really taking notice once it gets around like 50. We'll probably put on our lights just to give ourselves a little bit of illumination. Whoop. Hey man, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. All right. So we're gonna cruise into here now, start slowing down. Start leveling ourselves out against the planet and watching our altitude. We're at 14,000, 13,000, 12,000. Under 10. It is pitch black. So we're about 7,000, 6,000. 5,000. $4,000. So we'll go up to about 1,000, and that's when we're going to want to start being really careful. Alright, we should start seeing the ground coming at us now. Alright, there's our cave. We're going to put our landing gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
You can see a little flyby there. let's land with our lights facing the cave. Alright, so that's where we're going, boys. So we will leave our ship on. The lights will help us illuminate where we're walking to. See your little bed in here. It's a pretty cool little spot. So let's see what we got going on here. Boy, we have we got dust storm, we got all sorts of good stuff. Alright. So we're gonna go up here. Now pressing the T key on your keyboard will turn on your headlight if you have a helmet that has one. Most helmets do. So if I turn that on, it's going to illuminate. I'm looking for the control button is to duck. Ooh. That was a free, someone must have just been in here. Because that was a free piece of Haydenite there. So what we're going to be looking for in these caves is on the left or right side along the walls. There's going to be rocks like this. But the rocks that we can mine are going to have little veins in them. And you basically have green, blue, and purple. And purple is the color that we are looking for because purple is Haydenite. And that is the one that is the most valuable. So that's what we'll go ahead and do. Let's see what we can find here. If I press, let's see here, the 4 key, it will bring out my multi-tool. And then if I right click, it's going to bring out its scanner. This looks like it was a rock that someone also just took apart. So someone else must have been here. We will definitely find a rock. Do not worry about that. Here's what a green one left over looks like. Let's see. Someone definitely cleared these out. This is about the frequency that you'll find them. And you can see, I mean, there's only 40 people out on a server. Here's one. So if we right click, it will scan and it will tell us it's Haydenite. So what it's doing right now is it's setting up its parameters for mining. So if I tap the left click button once, it's going to start doing that. And if I move up my mouse wheel, you can see on the gun that power starts to go up. And as that power starts to go up, you'll see on the left side that white bar with the triangle also is going to go up. So what I like to do is get us up to about 100. And as soon as we get that white line on the left side in between the green and red bars, I'm going to drop it back down to about 50. Because what we want to do is keep it in between the green and red bars for a long enough time for it to fill up green. So here we go, and it's above the green. We're going to drop down to 50. That'll give us control. We can move it up a little bit more, and down, 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 and here we go. Now I can hit right click, and you're just going to focus on each one of these things individually and hit stow. And you'll have to wait for the game to update its server with each rock you get, so it can take maybe like 5 seconds or so. But each one of these is worth, I believe, $275 or so. So it might not seem like much, but the amount that you get per rock of doing this means that if you come in a cave and you do this for about, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you can easily get yourself up to about, you know, the $30,000 mark by just constantly doing it. So we're keeping going, just waiting for these things to refresh so we can keep stowing them. I know this might not be the most glamorous thing. Take that. And we're going to take this last one here. All right. So now I'll show you why we wanted to get that backpack. If I press the I key, it's going to open up my inventory. And the different armors that you have are going to have different amounts of inventory. So you can see that the stuff that I have right now is taking up 22% of the backpack. If I didn't have this, I could be very close to full already. So having a backpack like that works very, very well for this. So now we're going to go ahead. We'll stow this, since this is more just a demonstration than anything else. What we're going to do is, what do you do with these rocks now that you have them? We're going to leave the cave. The caves are rather linear, although they can seem like they aren't. As long as you hug one wall, you'll usually find your way back, and a lot of times your ship marker will be a good way to help you find the entrance to a cave that you're in. Alright, so I'm going to get in my ship, enter pilot seat. And what we're going to do is go to the space station that's right above Hurston. So, we'll take off. Put ourselves on cruise control. I'm actually going to go abandon that mission so someone else could have it if they wanted, or I could keep it. And this way, when I'm done selling, I could always just go right back to that cave. So we got rid of that. Alright, I'm far enough out. So now what I want to do, I'm going to scroll out here, go to Hurston, zoom in on Hurston, and find Everest Harbor. We're going to click on that and hit set route. Hit F2 to exit our map. And you can see, since we have a route set, it's going to automatically have that blue little triangle right up at the top screen. So when I start spooling, this is jump 1 of 2. You can see that's what that 1/2 means under the 168 kilometers. Hold down B to jump.
Auto drive is now on. Auto drive is now off.
I'm going to spool it again.
Right.
And it might. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to... Sometimes they'll do this. It's not going to let me do the jump because it's blocked by the planet. So what I'm going to do is clear the route. And that will let me reopen up all these different things. So now I can see orbital marker 6 around the planet. It's only 559 kilometers, so I know that that's not far. That's exactly where I want to go. It'll let me get around the planet. And now I can see if I can find Everest Harbor. Looks like it's still obstructed by the planet. So I'll just jump to Hurston.
Bottom drive is now off.
And when I get here, I'm going to use the orbital markers to help me
Bottom drive is now off.
navigate my way around the planet until I can get to Everest Harbor. Here's orbital marker 6.
Bottom drive is now off. Bottom drive is now off.
There is Everest Harbor. So a couple little things about markers here. The cities on a planet will always look like this. You can see Lorville has its own kind of like upside down house look. A square in space is a space station. If you're looking at a moon of a planet, it's going to be the circle with the little circle in it. That means it's a moon. And if you're looking at just a planet, it's just going to be the round circle. I'm not sure if there are any... Here's one. So that's Microtech. That's just a planet. Alright, let's go to Everest Harbor. And what we're going to do is dock here, get out,
Bottom drive is now off. Bottom
and
drive is
sell
now off.
those gems that we just got. And you dock at a space station the same way that you land at like a city, like how we just did earlier. So we're going to request for landing. The landing is always going to be generally around this main part on these struts. And you'll see as I get closer here. Should be close enough to get landing permission.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Alright, so where is... There's my landing bay. Not sure if anybody noticed, but I did just have cruise control on there, and I was not aware of it. That can be something that can come up and bite you when you're working on getting landing permission. Alright, so here is my pad. Always important when you're doing space station landing to make sure you're landing on the right side of the pad. Not meaning left or right, but meaning like top or bottom. You could very easily look at this and think that, you know, this is the way you're supposed to come at it. What helps with that is generally on space stations, these advertisement signs are all going to be on one side of the station, and they're all going to be on the top. So we'll drop down our landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Just trying to get a nice little cinematic landing. Perfect. All right, so we will power
Landing
off.
complete. Have a pleasant stay.
We're gonna hop out. Look at that sun reflection through the window. It's beautiful. There's the planet. One thing that I always think is cool about this planet specifically is the ability to see the city of Lorville down there. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it from where we are. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you can see that big Blade Runner building right there. man, looks cool. Because I mean, you can just hop in your ship and fly down there and land at that building. It's pretty amazing. All right, so we're gonna land here. All these space stations work pretty much the same. They have an elevator, just like at a city. So we're gonna go get the elevator. Go to the lobby. And when we get up here, we're going to go to the trade terminal in the admin office. And this isn't where you can sell everything, but this is where you can sell those Hadenite crystals, as well as the Aphorite and Dolivine that we just got as well. The Aphorite and Dolivine are the other crystals. Here's a cool little view out the window there. You can see the city again down through there. Alright, so we'll call the elevator. We'll take the elevator to the Galleria. And this is going to be interesting because I haven't done this in a long time. Where is the admin office in Everest Harbor? So the food court is that way. This is the bar. The admin must be upstairs. Every space station layout's a little bit different. Here we go. So we can hop in here, and here's your trading and shipping console. So we're going to go here, and we're going to go to sell. For select location, we're going to select us. Sometimes it takes a couple clicks. There we go. Wow, are they not buying Hadenite here? Okay, so that was about almost, we'll say $300. Disappointing. They do not buy Hadenite, but I can show you where else they would buy that. So if we go back to hangars and habs, basically any mining site will buy Hadenite from you. And that will be the last thing that we do. So we'll just remember, now we're at about $4,300. Our ship is still on the pad. Want nothing to do with those guys. They must have changed it. There's a really simple way to find. There's a huge amount of mining sites anywhere, depending on. It doesn't matter what's what planet system you're doing your mining in. They're really simple to find. So all you have to do we'll hop on the ship. I'm really enjoying this ship. This is if you got this for your starter ship, it's very fun. Every once in a while that'll happen to me where I'll get in the ship and the camera will just veer off like that. If you tap Z and then tap it again, it'll stop that. Alright, so we'll take off here. So if I open up my quantum drive here, and start looking around,
Thank you.
these abbreviations stand for things. So HDSF means Hurston Dynamics Science Facility. There's another science facility. HDMO, that's mining. Reclamation, disposal. HDMS, Edmund. So, MS is a mining site. And those are all places that you can sell hay tonight. So let's just pick one. Trying to pick one I haven't gone to in a while. Tamar. Let's go here. Hurston Dynamics Mining Site Hadley. Some will straight up just say mining site, and some if they don't have some if they don't have enough space to write that, they'll abbreviate. Coming in hot. We're going to come in under the cloud line here. Looks like the sun is just starting to come up. Alright, so we're gonna start slowing ourselves down because we're coming in right on top of this guy here. Turn on our lights. We should start seeing it very soon. There we go. Alright, let's hop on out. That was a pretty crazy landing. And when you get to these mining sites, the buildings all have different purposes, but they all are going to be the same look between sites. So what that means is you're going to want to look for the building with this big light up kind of pillar sticking up from it. That's where you buy and sell things. It's going to be in a different place, you know, in different settlements, but this is what we're looking for. So we go in here, open this up. And go to sell. Sell our Haydenite. So we're going to get 2,475. So we'll sell that. So we'll say about 2,500, and that's on top of the 4,300. So we're about like 68, 7,000. So we've played for about an hour and 30 minutes. We've gotten to explore a little bit of stuff. We're at just under 7,000 credits that we've made, but that also includes that we've gotten ourselves this backpack. We've gotten ourselves the multi-tool that we need, and we're pretty familiar with how to do this, so that we can go out now and, I mean, that was literally one rock that we did. That was 2,700. So say we go out and we do 10 of those rocks, you know, it's almost 30,000. And some of the rocks will have more, some will have less. But you know, you go out for one good solid run, bring back about 30,000. That's when you start getting yourself up money where you can, if you want, you know, rent ships or start outfitting ships in a way that can help you make even more money. So, you know, me and my buddy here really appreciate you all hanging out, and hopefully this was able to be helpful to some of you newer players out there. If it was, please find me WillyMax7 on Twitch, same thing on YouTube, and until next time.